Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Detroit Tigers and the Minnesota Twins at Metropolitan Stadium. On the mound for Detroit is Jack Morris, whose record is 15-9 with a 3.97 ERA. And pitching for the Twins is Dennis Burt, whose record is 1-3 with a 6.17 ERA. And so we started out the month of September in the worst possible way. We were shut out by Francisco Barrios and the Chicago White Sox. And then to kick dirt in our face, we also suffered the season-ending injury for Jim Bibby. Now, if we do manage to make it to the playoffs, he would be available, but we have our work cut out for us, because we are now 6 games back. We had the day off yesterday, and so we didn't play, but the Yankees won, and so they gained that half game on us. So we're 6 games back with basically, 23 games to go, something like that, 25 games to go, I guess. So we are in trouble, and we face the Twinkies. This is our first trip to Metropolitan Stadium this year, and so I would... hopefully you got a chance to see the title card as it showed the old school Metropolitan Stadium. Speaking of old school, also something new today is I have a brand new baseball card video. It's the 2021 Topps Series 1. It was just released a couple days ago, and today I open up a fat pack and a hanger box of it. So if you're curious about what the new Topps baseball cards look like this year, I'll have the video located right about here at the end of this video. Okay, so we have all of our bullpen available, which is nice because we were suffering pretty badly with our bullpen. And even better news is that every hitter is now healthy. We had 5 Tigers that were listed as tired, and I did make one switch up. I put Bob Baylor in there for Tony Armas, who's just been incredibly sucky. So let's go ahead and pull up the season stats, and over here on the right side you'll see a 1980 Topps card that will represent the players over here. Okay, so leading off and playing second base for Detroit is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second and at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third and at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting cleanup and in left field, Steve Kemp. Batting fifth and in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting sixth and catching today is Lance Parrish. Batting seventh and DHing is Carlton Fisk. Batting eighth and at third base is Richie Hebner. And batting ninth and in center field is Bob Baylor. On the mound for the Twins, here's Dennis Burt. You may have seen his baseball card on the title card page. That is a made card. Dennis Burt didn't make it to the major leagues until 1985. And even then, that card didn't exist. So that's one that's been manufactured. So 1980, he's 22 years old. This is his 5th start. The Twins are going with the youth movement, so they've moved a couple of their veteran pitchers to the bullpen. He is 1-3 in those 4 starts, 6.17 ERA, more walks than strikeouts, and opponents are batting .337 against him. So I have some high hopes. He was a second-round draft pick by the Boston Red Sox, and although he pitched really well in the minor leagues, in Single A and Double A, they released him at the end of the 1984 season, and the Twins signed him in December of that year, and he made it on the opening day roster in 1985, but he had a couple of really rough starts. They put him in the bullpen for a couple of games, and then he was demoted. And he played a couple more games in 1985. '86, where he had an ERA over 10. And then the Twins released him. He spent 3 years in the Dodgers minor league system, and then 1 year in Detroit, and that was the end of his career in 1990. So here's Sweet Lou leading off the game. He hits a ground ball to short, and that is the first out as Ivan De Jesus makes the play. Next up is Alan Trammell. Trammell's going to get an infield single to the third baseman, Steve Ontiveros. And now we have a runner at first base. Jason Thompson steps in. Thompson hits a ground ball right back to Burt. And they get Trammell at second base. Thompson's safe at first. They could not turn two. And so Steve Kemp steps in. He hits it right straight down in the dirt. Is that going to be an error? It is. Sometimes, more often than not, if a ball is rotating right about here, it's going to be an error on the catcher. And this is no different as Dave Engel makes an error. So first and second with a chance for Gary Hancock to drive in a run. And Hancock strikes out, which is totally unusual for him. He doesn't strike out much. So we go to the bottom of the first, and let's go ahead and do the Twins lineup. Batting leadoff and playing second base is Kurt Siebert. Batting second and DHing is Dave Collins. Batting third and in center field is Kirby Puckett. Batting cleanup and playing first base is Danny Goodwin. Batting fifth and catching is Dave Engel. Batting sixth and at third is Steve Ontiveros. And batting seventh and in left field is Dave Edwards. Batting eighth and in right field is Hoskin Powell. And batting ninth and at shortstop is Ivan De Jesus. Pitching for the Tigers is Jack Morris. He had his worst start of the year just a couple starts ago. And he did win his last start to get his 15th victory. This is his 29th start. He's made every start this year in the rotation. He's 15-9, 3.97 ERA. He's got 136 Ks, which is a career high. And with 2 innings pitched today, he'll have a new career high in innings pitched. Opponents are batting .262, and there is 3 complete games with a shutout for Morris this year. So he's been the ace of the staff, and we'll have to give him a new contract at the end of the year, which is probably going to cost us. Kurt Siebert leading off the bottom of the first, and he hits a high fly ball in the infield. Sweet Lou camps under it, and he makes the catch. Lou had an error in that 7-0 game against the Sox where he dropped a pop fly. Dave Collins pops it up in foul ground, and Jason Thompson makes the catch. So 2 down for Kirby Puckett, who is in his rookie year in this game at age 20, but he didn't actually become a major leaguer until 1983. And he grounds to Trammell at short. We go to the top of the second, all tied at 0. Lance Parrish leading off. Parrish hits a ground ball to second, and that's 1 down. Next up is Fisk, who we gave off the last game. And he comes through with a base hit that gets all the way to the wall. He stretches it into a double. So maybe the day of rest plus the day off did him some good. Can't say the same for Hebner as he strikes out with a runner in scoring position. So it's going to leave it up to Bob Baylor, getting a spot start playing center field today. He walks. And we flip the lineup back to the top with Lou Whitaker, runners in first and second. We have just not been coming through at all as he grounds it to third. And no clutch hitting from us. We go to the bottom of the second. And here's Danny Goodwin leading the American League in RBIs. He has 107. And he hits a fly ball into left center field, caught by Kemp for the first out. So 1 down. Here's Dave Engel, 3 for 4 with a home run against Morris. Strikes out here. So that's 2 down. Here's Steve Ontiveros. And Ontiveros strikes out swinging. So 1-2-3 inning for Morris. And we go to the top of the third. Trammell leading off. And Trammell grounds it to second. And he's out. So 1 down. Jason Thompson is up next. And JT takes a walk. It's 2 walks and 2 Ks for Burt so far today. I really want to hit and run because I know this is a double play opportunity, but I just want them to swing away. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. As Kemp hits a home run into left center field. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, whoa, no way. That ball was out. But it's caught at the wall. And no, I guess not. That was crazy. It is 406 out there in the alley. That's a really deep part of the park here in Metropolitan Stadium. Oh, man, that was... He must have made the catch right at the wall. Maybe went over to the top. I don't know. But that is a major bummer. So nothing out of that. We head to the bottom of the third. Dave Edwards leads off. Edwards hits a ground ball to Trammell. 1 down. Next up is Hoskin Powell batting .291 versus righties. And there's the first hit of the game for the Twins. So runner on first for Ivan De Jesus. And you can see here, like there's 4 batters in a row that do not have a home run on the year. A bunch of light hitting. Whoa, just as I said that, Ivan De Jesus drills it into the right center field gap, and he's got a double. So runners at second and third. And Morris finds himself in trouble. We cannot afford to let a single run score. As Seibert hits a ground ball to Whitaker, and he goes home to get the runner. De Jesus takes first and third. And here's the switch hitter, Dave Collins. Going to pull the outfield in, so there's no bloopers. The guy's batting .300, though, versus righties. And he hits a ground ball to Trammell, who flips it to Whitaker, and he steps down the bag at second for the third out. So we managed to get out of that. Head to the top of the fourth. Here's Lance Parrish. And Parrish is a line drive right at the first baseman, Goodwin. So that's the first out of the inning. Next up is Fisk, who has one of the 2 hits. He walks. And we are definitely hitting and running. Hebner is in a tailspin. His average is down to .271. He hits a ground ball to third. Fisk is safe at second. Only play was to go to first. And that will leave it up to Bob Baylor, who hasn't had a hit in forever. He grounds out to first. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. Very frustrated. What is that? 13 innings in a row where we have not scored a run. Kirby Puckett leads off the bottom of the fourth. And he hits a little blooper. It's going to be caught by Hebner at third. 1 down. Back to Danny Goodwin. He hits a screamer to left, and it falls in, and Goodwin has himself a double. He's the only hitter on the team to be concerned about for the most part. He's batting .325 overall with 19 home runs. So runner on second base for Dave Engel, and there's a base hit to right center. And it's 1-0 Twins. Next up is Steve Ontiveros. And he gets a base hit to center also. So with Baylor in center field, that is not his best position, but he's the only person to replace Tony Armas. As you know, we've been struggling with center fielders all year. And apparently he's a liability out there, as they're all falling into center field. Edwards hits a line drive, which is snared by Hebner. So 2 down for the lefty Hoskin Powell. Runners on first and second. And Powell gets a base hit just under the glove of Trammell, and it's 2-0. This is frustrating. This is pretty much the end of the season right now, as it's 2-0. De Jesus strikes out. We can't get the nobodies out, and we can't get certainly Danny Goodwin out. And Dennis Burt is also a nobody, but for some reason he's Cy Young. As Whitaker hits a ground ball to second. So 1 out for Trammell. There's a base hit. 3rd hit of the game. Here in the top of the 5th, and we just got to let Thompson swing away. Yep, fly ball to center field. That's the 2nd out. Kemp strikes out to end the inning. So to the bottom of the 5th, Morris at 62 pitches. He's given up 6 hits, though, so this is not the Morris we've seen, but he is at a point now where he's pitched more innings than he ever has. So that may be playing a part in his effectiveness. I think that's what happened to Jim Bibby as Dave Collins gets a hit into left field. Bibby, I looked at his history. By the time 1980 rolled around, he'd only had 2 seasons in his whole career where he pitched over 200 innings, and Bibby got injured at 197. So I think he was just due. So Kirby strikes out, and then Goodwin pops up to 3rd, and we go to the 6th. We're going to flip it over to the in-game stats. And so Gary Hancock will lead off the inning. He hits a line drive to left. That's caught for the 1st out. Hancock 0 for 3 today. Here's Parrish, who also has an 0 for. He strikes out. It's going to leave it up to Fisk. Hey, Fisk is at least doing something today. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. But everyone else is just crap right now. Hebner hits one pretty deep, but not even close. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and Dave Engel leading off 4 for 6 against Morris. He owns him as a rookie. As Morris strikes him out that time, it's 5 Ks for Morris. Steve Ontiveros pops it up. And that will bring up Dave Edwards. Edwards strikes out for the 6K. So we go to the 7th inning. Bob Baylor leading it off. Line drive to short. Caught by De Jesus. Sweet Lou pops it up. Alan Trammell's up next. And he hits a ground ball to 3rd. That is 16 innings in a row without scoring a run for the 2nd highest scoring offense in the league. So Morris, at 92 pitches, he can go about 120 as long as he keeps doing the job. Powell pops it up on the infield right by second base. There's 1 out. Next up is Ivan De Jesus, 1 for 2 on the day, 2 for 5 against Morris overall. He hits a grounder right at Hebner at 3rd. So we're looking at 2 outs for Kurt Siebert. And he hits a ground ball past Thompson at 1st. But he can't stretch it. He has to hold with a single. And that'll leave it up to Dave Collins. And there's a base hit up the middle. These lightweights, all of them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits from people who should not even be getting on base. So let's go leave it up to the rookie, Kirby Puckett. He hits a line drive right at Whitaker, and we go to the 8th. It's 2-0 Twinkies. And Burt is officially tired as he walks Thompson. And absolutely going to hit and run. Wow. Kemp swings and misses. Thompson steals second. He's the slowest guy on the team, and that is his first stolen base of the year. So we're going to try to pull it to the right side, maybe at least get Thompson to third. We haven't even had a runner to third base today, I don't think, as Kemp does ground it right at first. And there's Thompson standing on third. So a chance for Hancock to get break the streak, and he hits a line drive right at the shortstop, and he gets doubled off third. That is crap. This is horrible, and I don't even know what to say about it. Morris pulled it together. I mean, he's given up 9 hits in 7 innings against a team that's below 500. Goodwin grounds it out to Morris. Dave Engel hits a shot to right. That's his third. I'm sorry. He's 2 for 4, but he's 5 for 7 on the season against Morris. So Morris is at 117 pitches. He's coming close to the end, and I guess that's the end right there. As Ontiveros doubles into the gap. All right. We don't really have anybody that we can depend on. But we're going to bring in Tobic. He hasn't pitched in a few days. I think actually 4 days. And we'll pull the infield in. I mean, what else can we do? As Tobic strikes out Powell, that's pretty impressive. We're going to intentionally walk. He struck out Edwards. We're going to intentionally walk Powell to get to the righty, Ivan De Jesus. So the base is loaded. And this guy's probably a career 200 hitter. And he gets a base hit down the left field line. 2-run score. Both of those are against Morris. And that ought to be the game. And probably the season. Infield hit for Siebert. Another run scores. Another ground ball to short. And that's the end of the inning. So 5-0. And they're going to keep Burt in there. Try to get him a shutout, which he deserves the opportunity, as Parrish strikes out. The only hitter today to do anything, Fisk, he's going to be the player of the game as he flies out to center. And Hebner hits a fly ball to center field as well. So that's back-to-back shutouts against Detroit. And that ought to be enough to take us out of the playoff hunt. Well, the good news is the Yankees lost as well. Man, we're 4-6 in our last 10 games. And we have just not been able to get to the 80-game mark. We've lost 3 in a row. And this is desperate times. I mean, we really have to win 20 of the next 24. Right? Yeah. So we got to win 20 of 24 to really have a shot. So let's take a look here and see any transactions. Yeah, the Mets are giving Pete Falcone a 4-year extension. And so let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Like and subscribe. I wish this game was good. We've been crushed twice. So if you enjoy watching me frustrated and watching the team get destroyed, this is the series for you. So we'll give the player of the game to Carlton Fisk. He did get his 14th double, and Morris takes the loss. He's 15-10, and Tobic sucks as well. Bunch of doubles, and Dennis Burt, who is a nobody, gets to win. He's 2-3. Makes absolutely no sense. And that'll be it here from Metropolitan Stadium. We'll be back tomorrow. Try it again. And here's the video for today's baseball card opening. It's the brand new 2021 Topps Series 1. So check it out if you like baseball cards or if you just want to see what the cards look like this year. Have a good night.